Chapter 1. Boston, Massachusetts, September 1917. Bloody hell! Elizabeth cursed under her breath. She snapped the heavy draperies and then leaped away from the window. The man was stalking her. Of all the nerve. Pardon, love? Gran pushed the reading spectacles up to the top of her gray head. Her dark, beady eyes drilled into Elizabeth's soul, daring her to lie. Oh, Elizabeth swallowed, uncomfortable with the scrutiny. Nothing, Gran. The last thing she wanted to do was unduly concern the elderly lady, her benefactor, and her guardian. Is there something out there? She asked, reaching for the arms of the chair to help lift her. Oh, no, Elizabeth said, waving her off. No one at all. I thought I saw someone, but, well, no. She smiled reassuringly and patted Gran on the hand, before taking a teacup from the tray on the table and filling it, her hands shaking all the while. She sat down with a sigh. Who could she confide in about the man? The police, perhaps? Would they think she was crazy? She could not deny that he was following her. The man was around far too much for it to be a mere coincidence. You seem on edge today, Lizzie. Are you unwell? Gran leaned in closer and touched Elizabeth's forehead. Is it perhaps your monthly time? Gran, Elizabeth scolded. Polite society did not discuss such things. She flushed and then laughed. I simply feel a bit out of sorts today. Well, love, care to come inside with me? There is some gardening to do. Chores your grandfather refuses to give over to the yard keepers. Gran placed her empty cup on the table and eased her small body from the upholstered chair. If I don't keep an eye on him, he'll overdo the pruning again, and I'll have no roses next summer. Elizabeth's eyes strayed back to the window. Why was Percy Anders standing outside the front door, holding space on the sidewalk, monitoring her activities? Elizabeth swallowed. Perhaps another time, Gran. Oh, very well. She winked at Elizabeth and kissed her head before leaving the room. When the back door banged shut, Elizabeth set aside her teacup and walked over to the window, overlooking the large garden at the back of the house. It would take an act of God for her to look through the front window again that afternoon. Maybe Percy Anders hadn't done anything more sinister than follow her about, but that didn't mean he didn't have plans beyond that. Plans that could lead to Elizabeth's harm. She sighed, trying to steady her breathing. The gentle, cool afternoon breeze filtered through the lace curtains and sent a calming caress against her cheeks. It was an unseasonably warm day on the southern slope of Boston's Beacon Hill. She watched Granddad's face bloom into a radiant smile as he caught sight of his wife's face over his award-winning roses. Even after 53 years of marriage, their affection for one another was obvious. How can I find a love like that? She thought Lord Barnard Frederick, Marquess of Bridgewater, had been the answer to that question. She was wrong. Elizabeth arrived in Boston months earlier, wearing her broken heart on her sleeve. Running away from England, across a dangerous war-torn ocean, had seemed a logical means to escape the heartbreak and scandalous stir Barney's illicit affair had created in London. 10 months to the very day after Barney Frederick left for the Great War, Elizabeth herself departed London, set for America. In that full 301 days, he'd not responded once to any of the letters she'd sent. Every day, at least in the very beginning, she had faithfully jotted down tidbits and gossip, her feelings and hopes, her dreams. So many words never spoken between the two of them, she'd written down in her letters, with hopes of drawing them closer. And not a single reply.